What is your name and your profession?
So my name is Caroline Bell, and I am in transition period right now. So I just graduated from UVA with a double major in computer science and music, and I'm an incoming software engineer at Capital One.
Okay. And what was your role at the event?
I was a speaker, so I gave a talk on kind of work-life balance.
And what inspired you to participate in this event?
So I was a student at CIT when I was in high school, and they didn't have Grit Conference then, and one of my friends from high school reached out to me and kind of showed that Miss Norris was putting on this event, and I thought it was really interesting, a really cool and unique opportunity, so I always love looking for opportunities to come back and to support the center, so that's kind of what inspired me to get involved with it.
And so when you were at it, what would you say was like a highlight of it, something that stood out to you more than something else?
I would say probably seeing all of the students there. I think that was really cool, like seeing the entire specialty center come together and like all participate in an event, because I remember when I was a student, we of course would do things like we would have potlucks or we would go to like do field trips or stuff like this. But it was really cool seeing everyone like come together and really basically supporting what the mission and vision of the specialty center is, which is to introduce technology to young individuals and kind of inspire a career for them. So I think that was a really cool moment that is not really seen anywhere else.
So would you say that like that's what you liked the most about it, or is there something else like underlying that would eclipse that?
I would say the unique functionality of the event was my favorite thing about it, because there are very few 14 to 18-year-olds who are able to go to conferences, especially ones that are centered for that age demographic. And I think I saw a lot of benefit of like my sister, she was a senior last year, and seeing her have the opportunity to go to the different job booths or go to different talks and stuff like that. I think that was a unique opportunity that she had that I honestly wish that would have been cool for me to have as well. So I think basically the unique element that it just was serving a very distinct purpose. I really like that.
And I think you essentially answered the next question in that, but on to the next one. What would you say was the most impactful, like for you as a whole?
I would say just as being able to come back, I think was very impactful. I think for me, I loved CIT, I still do. It is so special, all the things that it offered to me. I wouldn't be where I am in my career or where I went to in my education without it. And so I think having the opportunity to connect with old teachers or to see the current demographic of students, or I led like a project team last year for the CIT projects, and being able to see my students in person, because when I'm in Charlottesville at school, I wasn't able to see them. So I think the most impactful part of this entire conference was the opportunity to come back and to really just continue to support CIT, because it did so much for me. So I think it was impactful for me to be able to support them in return.
And did you gain anything from it in going to it and in spreading like your message?
I would say probably the thing I gained the most was just the confirming how incredible the specialty center is. I think it obviously, like, I didn't go to the other talk, so I wasn't really able to gain anything from that perspective, but I did have the opportunity to gain the speaking experience. I hadn't ever given a 45-minute talk before, so that was really a unique opportunity and a really cool thing to do. But I think also just the confirmation of like, wow, I'm very blessed that I was a part of this community, and I still feel part of it as an alumni.
So compared to other conferences that you have attended, how would you say that it holds up to it?
I think it's incredible. I think specifically looking at the age demographic, it was spot on for everything that students in high school who are interested in technology need. I went to a conference when I was a freshman in high school, also in the Specialty Center with Girls of CIT, but that one was kind of an all-around conference, so it wasn't specifically for high schoolers. And I remember it was cool, it was really exciting, like getting all the merch from the different the jobs that were there and going to all the talks and stuff like that. But I remember it being mildly overwhelming, where I feel like this was really cool because you can connect with people who are like in your area, who are people that you might recognize, or you're hearing things that you might be familiar with. So I think what's really cool about this conference compared to other ones is it did exactly what it set out to do, which was to give high school students an opportunity they're not going to get anywhere else.
And for these students, those that have attended and those that may attend in a future conference, would you say anything in particular to them?
I would say that you really need to just soak in all the opportunities that can come from this event. I know it can seem like, oh my gosh, like why in the world I have to take a day off of school and go to this thing and wear professional dress, and it just feels very like why in the world are we doing this? But there was definitely a method to the madness going into it, and I think really like later on in your life, opportunities like this are not going to be as easily accessible, especially at the level where everyone in attendance is your age, is all kind of in the same point. We're kind of starting to look at colleges. If you're a junior, you're looking at internships. Even seniors, you're looking at internships for your summer between your senior year and when you go to college. And I think really utilizing the opportunities and the people who are there, because truly all of the people who are in attendance at this event are handpicked for you. And I think going into that with the realization of like, every single person here has been handpicked to come to support you in your career journey and your education journey, and really embracing every opportunity you have, embracing the conversations that you're going to have, listening very attentively. So I think that would be my biggest piece of advice, is don't take it for granted.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.